If we've said it once, we've said it 100 damn times at this point. Rideshare driving, particularly after hours, is a very dangerous way to make money. Nevertheless, with the loss of yet another rideshare driver, there's a hell of a lot of tips we need to discuss on the other side of this video.
I did, Gary and Elle. So new in the last 30 minutes, Seattle police say they believe the murder may have been a totally random carjacking. We've just learned the identity of the victim, who was the father of young kids in this murder. He was also an Uber driver who was shot and killed on the job yesterday. So first of all, police are now asking for your help to find his stolen car. It is this light blue 2014 Toyota Prius. And notice on the right-hand passenger side, it has one mismatched rim that's black instead of silver. The victim, again, was a rideshare driver, and he was working when he was carjacked, shot, and killed, according to police. The man who was killed is 52-year-old Amare Gita. Family members tell me he was a husband, dad to 2 young kids, and that he in fact worked multiple jobs to support his family. He's a SeaTac resident, but was in Seattle driving when the shooting happened as he was stopped at a curb. Seattle police say they responded early yesterday morning around 3:30 to find a man who was down in the street near First Avenue South and South Walker Street. The victim had been shot multiple times and died at the scene. Tonight, his family members tell me whoever killed him also stole his car and all of his belongings, as just verified by Seattle police. They say they dumped his body in the street. And Seattle police say that his car, again, this light blue Prius, was last seen in West Seattle. So if you spot this car, investigators want you to call 911 immediately because they believe the suspect or suspects are armed and dangerous. Family members say Gita was well known in the Ethiopian community and always tried to help others. Gita's family has started a GoFundMe to help get his remains near First Avenue South and South Walker Street. The victim had been shot multiple times and died at the scene. Tonight, his family members tell me whoever killed him also stole his car and all of his belongings, as just verified by Seattle police. They say they dumped his body in the street. And Seattle police say that his car, again, this light blue Prius, was last seen in West Seattle. So if you spot this car, investigators want you to call 911 immediately because they believe the suspect or suspects are armed and dangerous. Family members say Gita was well known in the Ethiopian community and always tried to help others. Gita's family has started a GoFundMe to help get his remains back to Ethiopia and also to provide for his 2 young kids. We'll have that link online on Cairo7.com.
Amara Geta, 52-year-old father of 2, Ethiopian immigrant, now deceased. Driving for rideshare, rather driving for Uber or Lyft, this is some dangerous shit to do. Nevertheless, there are obvious tips, things you can avoid. As we always say, if you don't want to get eaten, try your damnedest to not look like food. And there's a few things we want to unpack here with the death of Amara Geta. First of all, if you notice in the story, the newscaster states that he was parked at a curb when this particular event occurred. Said it several times, particularly for those who are driving after hours. If you're going to stop somewhere, the location you choose is very important. Now, clearly this happened around 3 to 3:30 a.m. in the morning, according to authorities. You know we say on every damn video, nothing good happens after midnight. 3 o'clock in the morning is prime time for nothing but misery and mayhem. And that's exactly what apparently happened to this gentleman. When you're driving in the wee hours of the morning like that, it's a hell of a lot more you need to pay attention to than somebody driving at 3 p.m. Such as, if I'm out at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not letting 3 guys get in my car. Unless I'm picking them up in front of a bar or a club, I'm not going to pull up to anybody's residence and have 3 or 4 dudes get in my car at the same time. Why the hell do all of you folks need a ride this time of morning? None of y'all have a damn car? I'm driving off when I see that shit file out. But in regards to this driver meeting his demise while parked at a curb, as I stated before, when you're parking your vehicle at 3 in the morning, the location you choose is very important, particularly if you're going to sit there for a while. First of all, do not find yourself staring down at your phone or some type of tablet on a dark-ass street where everybody can see you for hundreds of feet away and you're looking at the device so that your eyes are fixated on a lighted device. So even if you do look up, may take your eyes a moment to adjust. You do not want to light your face up or illuminate what's in your vehicle. Let everybody know there's a person sitting in his car in a dark environment. If you're parked by a curb in the middle of the night, 3 in the damn morning, your head needs to be on a swivel. You need to make sure no one is walking up to your vehicle. No one should be approaching you at 3 o'clock in the morning. You are not a taxi. People do not just walk up and hail a Lyft or Uber ride. It's all done through the damn app. And now that they're creating this damn phone number, which I'm not a big fan of, this 800 number, but nevertheless, no one walks up and flags down an Uber or Lyft. So when you're parked at 3 o'clock in the morning, anyone walking near you should be viewed as a potential person of concern. Don't let nobody walk up to your ass. Also, it is important to park somewhere where other people are likely to see what the hell is going on. So parking on a vacant, dark street, got your phone lit, you're looking down at your phone, you're about as vulnerable as they can be, where somebody can sneak up to you, pull out a pistol, and basically demand everything you got. And that's what it kind of sounds like what took place here. In addition to simply parking, also the same thing applies if you're at an intersection. If you're stopping at an intersection at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, do not fuck with your phone. Pay attention to what's going on around your vehicle. It doesn't take very long for someone to walk up to your vehicle, pull out a pistol, and start making demands. In my humble opinion, what I used to do, I would park a few feet back from the crosswalk. That way, anybody that may want to cross the street, they generally cross at the crosswalk. If I'm a few feet back and they're crossing at my angle, I can drive forward towards the crosswalk without breaking the light. And if they really want to intercept me, it's going to be obvious because they're changing their walking path. But that's one way that I would deal with intersections if driving in the wee hours of the morning. I made it clear I no longer drive in the wee hours of the morning. There's no additional earnings. It's not like you're getting shift differential or something like that, but the amount of danger, the statistical probability of something happening to you is significantly greater when criminals know nobody is out in the street to see them. So I just do not advise driving in the wee hours of the morning. I understand many of you folks have second jobs and this is the only time you can drive, or maybe you favor the lack of traffic at 3 o'clock in the morning, or perhaps you're in a market where tipping or something like that makes it a worthy attempt to feed. I'm not a fan of driving in the wee hours of the morning, particularly in urban areas. It's just simply put too dangerous. So last but not least, for folks who do drive full time, many of us get tired while we're driving. Certainly if you're driving in the middle of the night when the call volume may be low or something like that, you may have the inclination to want to pull over and take a brief nap or something like that. Don't do that shit. If you're tired, take your sleepy ass home. The last thing you want is to be asleep in a vehicle, recline back in the front seat, and somebody can walk up and look down on your ass while you're at your most vulnerable state. Do not fall asleep where somebody can see you, period. Now, I understand there are some struggling drivers. There is an element of ride sharing where some drivers actually sleep in their vehicles. It is where they live as well. It's a different type of argument. In my humble opinion, the best way to deal with that is to get you some type of window coverings all around the vehicle, and certainly have them in black where still nobody can tell if anybody is in that vehicle or not. But you certainly do not want to be asleep and have somebody able to look down on you. Worst case scenario, go to a well-lit truck stop or something like that where there's a lot of foot traffic, a lot of video cameras, and people can easily hear if you tap the horn or scream for your damn life. But parking on a street, on a side block or something like that in the hood, you're just begging for an outcome similar to this. Very sad to hear Seattle has lost 2 drivers in the span of 6 months. One of the follow-up stories suggested that in the last 4 years, 5 rideshare drivers have been killed. I didn't realize it was that many of them in Seattle. I didn't know Seattle get down like that, but Fortunately, there seems to be a little bit of unity in this particular market. That's how they ended up getting these very high pay rates. Seattle, I believe, is the highest paying rideshare market in America right now. They get like $1.50 a mile or something. So I could totally understand doing rideshare any time of the day at $1.50 per mile. But that doesn't take away the element of danger that clearly exists in Seattle. 52-year-old father of 2 young children, husband, now he is gone. So I just wanted to provide those tips. I'm sure many of you folks, when you're driving at night, what do you do in terms of taking breaks? You're going to be driving till 3, 4 in the morning. It's kind of slow right now. You want to take a break. You want to just get your mind off driving for 15, 20 minutes. Where do you park at? Do you keep your head on a swivel? Or do you look down at your phone, a bright device, lighting your face up, letting everybody on the damn block know, here I am? And last but not least, what do I say in every single video? Keep your defensive tools on you. Mace, something to slice or poke with, up to and including a firearm. If you're going to be driving at 3 o'clock in the morning, it probably should be a firearm, period. It probably should be a firearm ready at all times. There's just simply too many of us drivers getting carjacked all over the country. This is very common. For folks who often suggest that, well, you're fear-mongering, it's not that dangerous. I've been doing this for, a year and a half. There's got to be at least a couple hundred that I've discussed. Baltimore alone having like 35 of them in a span of 2. A couple hundred of them have happened that I know about, that I've discussed with you folks. We got to assume that they're not all being covered by the news. This shit ain't safe, period. Particularly if you're out in the wee hours of the morning. So folks, just stay safe. Hopefully, one way or another, we get these companies to start giving a damn about our safety and our concerns. I don't have a lot of hope for that, but I just wanted to do the video as yet another tribute to a driver who lost his life while simply trying to earn a little bit of money. As always, it's your boy Tim. Appreciate you folks clicking the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.